Generate demand for your services with the ultimate 9-step marketing plan. Generating demand is not easy. However, there are some easy ways to generate demand for your services or events. So to learn more, read this blog post. Most businesses waste an enormous amount of time on marketing to generate demand. And when you're a solopreneur spending hours a day creating content because you can't afford to pay for ads or even outsource the work, it means that your time is a cost in itself. Ask yourself, is my marketing plan making me money or draining my resources? What if I told you that your marketing could make you more money instead of wasting it by creating demand? That you could streamline your marketing process so that it takes less time and effort. And that you can do this by making some really simple tweaks and changes that result in being fully booked. The thing with creating demand is that your marketing efforts today are likely not actually going to pay off until 3, if not 6 months down the line. So a widespread and costly mistake that many businesses make is that they take their foot off the pedal when it comes to marketing. And so that impacts demand for services down the line. And demand is an essential aspect of any business. So how can you change your marketing to create demand? You can use content marketing strategies. And you might be thinking, well, what is a content marketing strategy? Or what is content marketing? Content marketing is a type of marketing that involves creating and sharing online materials, such as videos, blogs, social media posts. This type of marketing, it doesn't explicitly promote the sale of your services. It's more about creating free value for your target audience to build trust and familiarity. Essentially, it's about connection and building relationships. And you're probably thinking, well, how will I get more clients if I'm not selling my services? Relationships and building connections, great and all, but it doesn't add to my bottom line. And you see, by creating valuable content on social media, on blog posts and lead generators that capture email addresses, you become a valuable asset to your ideal clients. And what can happen then is that when you do offer your products or services, that clients, you don't even need to have a sales conversation. People will actually come to you wondering, how can I get more of that? I liked what you put out there. How can I do more of that? And maybe you didn't know, but most people have to hear about your brand and your services 5 to 6 times before they'll purchase. That's why building a presence and a following online is essential. It helps again with that trust and familiarity, that connection, engagement, and really audience, making them feel like they get to know you. Many business owners don't realize either that a lot of them are putting themselves and their businesses at risk. And what I mean by that is because what they're doing is they're not capturing their leads off of social media. So they're putting their businesses at risk by not capturing leads and using lead generators as part of their content strategy. And here's why you need to build your email list. Picture this, you wake up in the morning, your alarm is going off, you reach over and you grab your phone, you're going to hit the snooze button, but you decide, okay, I'm awake, I'll have a look at my phone, I'll see what's going on in the world, I'll check LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, wherever it is that you hang out, whatever your first port of call is in the morning, it could even be the news, but your page doesn't load. Okay, your social media page, it doesn't load and it just flashes an error. And that can be, maybe your page got hacked or it's been deleted for some reason. Maybe you've been blocked off of it. But with all of the effort that you've put into building your online audience, all of your followers, all of your content, everything, it's gone. Poof, gone. Your months, years of building content, engaging with others, and growing your following, they've gone up in smoke. As much as I know that you love scrolling on social media, building your business solely on someone else's platform is a risk that you can't afford to take. You're building your future business, your future success. You're building your dreams in a place that's completely outside of your control. So, okay, that might be a little bit extreme, but it has been known to happen that people have lost total access, complete access to all of their social media because of hackers. It's even happened a couple of times in the last year where Meta, the new name for Facebook and Instagram, where it's gone down. So generating leads can be a colossal waste of money if you don't do it right. And you risk wasting that money and losing those leads if you don't take control and capture them in a place that you own. And here's how you can take control and generate demand for your services. It's with an ultimate marketing plan. The first thing to do is to identify your target audience. Research what their pain points are. Find out, okay, which social medias are they hanging out on? Learn the words that they use to search for the services that you offer. Determine what it's costing them not to solve their problems. And create a one-liner that resonates with your ideal clients. The second part of the strategy. So create a social media content strategy. By creating a social media content strategy, you're creating a following on social media. And to do that, you're doing that by educating your target audience. You're focusing on their biggest pain points with your messaging and your captions and your graphics. You're offering free content, such as a lead generator. You might even conduct polls or questions and answers or live streams where people are engaging and interacting with you and asking you questions about your content. And you're making use of the responses and questions that they ask you to create future content. Perhaps you might identify influencers that you could partner with who could share information about you and your business, or become an affiliate where they will talk about your business and send emails to their existing clients. You can demonstrate empathy and understanding about what your customers are going through, and even share stories of how you've gone through the same thing or other clients have gone through the same thing. You can leverage feedback by way of testimonials or videos or interviews with existing and past clients and share that on your social media. You can vary the type of content that you create. And what I find really helpful is to follow a strategy whereby you speak about specific categories of content consistently. And usually when you're doing that, the advice that I give my clients is to limit it to a maximum of 5 headings. 5 headings that you consistently talk about. And differentiate yourself with your branding so that you don't look and sound like everyone else that's out there, because there's so much noise in social media. And there's so many people scrolling constantly. You need to be there with a big bang. Your message needs to be illuminated so it stands out from everyone else. So you have to be a little bit different. So use social media as a strategy then to drive traffic, to drive customers, users, scrollers to your website, to your blog, or to landing pages so that you can capture people's email addresses. One thing to avoid doing on social media is to avoid selling. You may turn people off of your services if you try to sell on social media. The second part of the strategy is to look at lead generators. And by lead generators, I mean lead generators your clients will actually want. And it's one of the best ways to capture clients' email addresses. So by inviting them to opt in to a lead generator, it's a bit like, taking the next step in a blossoming relationship. So a lead generator offers your clients a resource. Usually that resource is for free, and that's in exchange for their email address. And this resource should offer immense value. So it's packed with information or data or case studies or things that really, really impact your clients' lives and makes them better. And by doing that, that positions you as an authority, as a credible figure who knows what they're talking about, as an expert or a master in your industry. So absolutely jam packing that lead generator is a fantastic way to go. And people will never look at your brand and think you scrounged on information. Okay. So here's some examples for lead generators, or lead magnets as often they're called. So you could create a downloadable PDF guide, a free online course, a checklist, or an ebook. Make sure that when you create your lead generator that you give it a really good title, something that's really catchy, and ensure that it solves a problem and educates or inspires your audience in some way. So emails is the next part of the strategy, and emails are an essential part of your marketing strategy because only 3% of your overall audience on and off social media is ready to buy at any one time. So staying in touch via email means you're at the front of your customers' minds when they're ready to buy. And you can offer your services as often as you like when you have email addresses, though I like to stick to the 80-20 rule. It's where 80% of the time you're adding value and giving free information, and only 20% of the time you're offering your products or services. So stick to the 80-20 rule as a rule of thumb. So in your emails, when you've got clients' emails, you can offer even more value in the emails. You can tell stories of challenges and successes that either you or your clients have experienced. You can make what you offer exclusive, so within your emails, so that what you share on your emails is not necessarily what you share on social media. So it gives people another reason to opt in to your email. Make it more interesting than signing up for a boring old newsletter. People get enough emails nowadays that a boring old newsletter is not going to be something that entices them. So give them a reason to sign up. When you're sending out emails, keep the paragraphs short and try to keep the sentences short. You can vary the content then between long form emails where there's lots of text, or short form emails where there's only a couple of captions or a couple of paragraphs. You can include things like videos or images or even audio on your emails to keep them interesting and engaging for people who open them. And always add a PS at the end of your email, because often people, they get so many things on their phones and in their emails and their social media, and they're constantly scrolling, but they'll regularly just scroll right to the end, and the only thing they might read is your PS. So always add a PS. Use emails to keep giving value to your existing clients as well, as a way to nurture them and as a way to potentially warm up prospective clients. Maximizing what goes on your website is another way to enhance your content strategy. So on your website, ensure that on your website it's clear what you offer from your header. So your header is that top section. When people log on, that they know instantly what it is that you offer. Help your clients visualize success from the images that you share in your content. And I know that can be very challenging when it's a service-based business, but if it's helped, maybe something that shows somebody being fit, or, being able to climb a hill that they couldn't climb before, or, if it's accountancy, that you're showing somebody saving money on their tax bill, if it's career coaching, that you're showing somebody who's gotten a new job, if it's branding that you help people with, that you're showing somebody, with a new brand strategy, whatever it might be, that you're sharing a picture of success. Offer your lead generator on your website or your landing page as well. And when you do, when you do that, that shares snippets of what your services are all about. So again, don't scrimp on what you share. Try to give as much as possibly you can. And you can share case studies that demonstrate transformations previous clients have experienced, as I mentioned before, and you can make it easy. Really, definitely make it easy for people to buy from you or know how to contact you. So I would usually say in the top right-hand side of your website, it should say buy now or contact us here, schedule a call, whatever it might be, a really direct, strong call to action in the top right-hand side of your website. Another thing on your website is, as human beings, we like to know what to expect. Okay, so on your website, if someone decides to buy now, schedule a call, whatever, share on your website a plan that's going to tell those prospective clients what they can expect if they sign up with you. And even if that's a landing page that says download now, okay, download now, fill up the template, and whatever happens next. Okay, download now, access the software, send your emails. It could be whatever you want. But it needs to be relevant to your business, and it needs to be 3, maximum 4-step plan, because people like to know what to expect. And expectations are vital when it comes to customer experience as well as marketing. But if people know what the next steps are, they can start to visualize themselves going through those steps, so they'll be more engaged. Blog posts. Using blog posts on your website is a great way to drive more traffic to your site altogether. Why? It's because when you create blog posts about one of those 5 topics that I mentioned, what's happening is you're creating things that the search engines like. You're optimizing what goes into your blog post, usually with much more words, with more words than you would use simply on your homepage on your website, for example. So on this blog post, I'm talking a lot about marketing and an ultimate marketing plan. There will be far too many words to include all of this on the homepage of my website, because people don't read websites, they scan websites. So having blog posts in the back end of your website can be a fantastic way to drive traffic to your website, because if somebody types in a search for an ultimate marketing plan, for example, I would hope that this website blog will be featured somewhere up near the top. And when they click on this blog post, they'll be brought into my website, so they can click into other blog posts and see what my services are, and so on. You can also have lead generators that pop up on your blog post, just like the one that might show up here when you're browsing today. You can create blog posts about things that your audience will want to learn about. And from your knowledge of your target audience, considering the things that excite them, that intrigue them, that captivate them, or that they're passionate about, and talking about those things in your blogs is what's going to resonate with your clients. Come up with a catchy headline, because if it's boring, it's like the boring old newsletter. Nobody's actually going to read it. You can share information in a conversational style in blogs as well. It doesn't have to be terribly formal or structured in that sense. And you can use a storytelling framework to convey your message. When you're developing your content strategy, it's important that you use your brand strategy and remain consistent across all of your customer touch points in terms of your brand strategy. And what I mean by that is that your brand has a personality, it has a tone of voice, and it has a style. So be sure to stay consistent across each of those touch points that you have with your clients. Using consistent colors in your branding can increase recognition of your brand and your business by as much as 80%. People will become more familiar with you quickly as well if you're consistent. And they'll start to see the colors and maybe the fonts that you use that are specific to you, that nobody else has that sort of style, so that you stand out more readily. Your brand should have a style of telling stories as well. So that style, it might be conversational, it could be formal, it could be funny, it could be witty, it could be sarcastic, whatever it is. But identifying which kind of style you use and consistently adhering to it, again, is something that will help you stand out. Using the same fonts, as I mentioned, across each touch point as well. So if it's in, emails, that potentially you have the same font. If it's on a lead generator or your website or your social media captions, that the fonts are consistent all the way through. If you're using images or video, keep the style the same across different platforms as well. And again, if you're using images or videos that you've taken yourself, just be mindful of the clutter in your background. Or, if it's a color in your background that clashes with one of your brand colors, just be mindful of that and use appropriate images for the message that you're trying to convey so that the message resonates what you're talking about. For example, if I was a travel consultant, for example, well, a photo of me on a tropical beach with a palm tree and some blue seas and white sands would be an appropriate image to share. And think about it this way, and this is something I like to challenge my clients to do. Ask yourself, would your 8-figure CEO self approve of the images that you've used? Are they good enough? Like your social media strategy and your social media content strategy, the topics you speak about regularly for your brand, they should have an overall narrative, an overall message that it's trying to convey, so that it's a theme as such. Even though you're talking about different topics, it's the same underlying theme that you're trying to portray. So, the theme of this is getting clients, and the theme that I'm consistently trying to convey is you're using customer experience, branding, and marketing to get and keep clients. So the underlying message should be the same no matter what topic you're talking about or where. You can create efficiencies and automation in your marketing strategy. Okay, and the benefit of doing that is that it just makes things a lot easier. It can take less time, it can save you money, and if you find marketing stressful, it's a fantastic way to alleviate that stress. So here's a few tips on how to do that. You can outsource the bits that you're not good at. So you may be fantastic at helping your clients in the way that you help them, and you may be a jack of all trades in your business, but it's okay to admit if marketing is not one of the things that you love, or that it's one of the things that you're not fantastic at. As a small business owner who can't afford to hire full-time help, perhaps you could just outsource some elements of your marketing to help you out. You can create templates for your marketing with different tools, such as Canva, where you can create the same templates and use them repeatedly to speed up processes for you. You can use experts for time-consuming marketing tasks, like a graphic designer to create your logo, for example. Yes, it is something you could create yourself, but to get it right and really on the money, where it's professional and makes you stand apart from other people in your industry, hiring an expert can be a cheap way to avoid long-term costs, in the sense that you pay for something now upfront and you're not repeatedly redoing it yourself over and over again. And the same with your website messaging. Hiring a copywriter to wireframe your website can be a really effective spend upfront, because that website then should convert more potential traffic into paying clients for you. So you'd hire a web designer then to upload that wireframe, and potentially a brand strategist before all of that to help you craft your brand story, so your copywriter knows what to include. And the copywriter should also be able to help you with search engine optimization, but if not, outsource that element to a search engine optimization expert. They'll help you maximize your site. You can use scheduling tools to get your content out regularly and frequently, like Planoly, Later, Buffer, you name it. And even Facebook Meta now, they have their own scheduling tools that you can use there as well. As I said, you can use Canva to craft graphics for yourself and create templates to speed up processes. You could I'd highly recommend that you recruit a brand photographer to capture images of you that tie in with your brand and that you can use repeatedly across all of your touch points. They're professional images. You can use frameworks like the StoryBrand 7-part framework to help you write compelling messages, emails, and stories that will connect you with your ideal clients. And what's highly advantageous to do is to draft a standard operating procedure, an SOP, for how you do all of the things I've already spoken about. When you do that, you'll be able to outsource anything that you do in your business. You'll be able to hand over your SOPs to someone and say, here you go, this is how I do it. You can use email marketing systems like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign to send multiple emails at one time to all of your audience. You can even break down that audience then and segment them so that certain people who signed up for certain lead generators get certain emails and so on. You can use tools like Ubersuggest or Answer the Public or HubSpot to come up with ideas for content. And you can even use AI, artificial intelligence now, to create content. So there's tools like peppertype.ai and Jasper, I think, is another one. You can plan out the experience that you will create and the systems you will use to create it as part of your ultimate marketing plan. By crafting a customer journey and considering which systems your customers will come through on the journey, you can determine what you can automate without losing the personal touch and still really connecting with those clients. You can identify as well where you could add in little surprises to celebrate milestones with your clients. And what I find really helpful to ask yourself is, what can I do that will create a world-class experience? Work out where, when you're crafting your customer journey map, work out where or how you can increase sales from existing clients to optimize your customers' lifetime value. And then orchestrate into your customer journey how you are going to stimulate referrals and generate demand for your services from your existing clients. So in conclusion, generating demand for your services can be challenging, and marketing can feel like the cookie monster, eating up your energy, your time, and your money. And that's why big organizations, they spend thousands, if not millions, on marketing material yearly. They have teams of people working on it. They pay thousands, if not millions, in ad spend. They produce weekly blogs and they have daily, multiple social media posts daily. They have TV ads, probably radio ads. And you know what they're doing? They are showing up in your inbox regularly, and so many other things. But of course, for small business owners where marketing is not your favorite item, perhaps on your to-do list for the day, take comfort in the fact that by creating a quality content strategy, you're inadvertently supporting your existing and your prospective clients, because you're producing content they actually want. You're possibly even giving them free solutions to problems that they have. So the first step in marketing, branding, and customer experience, it always comes back to your target customer. When you truly understand your target customer, you can create a content strategy that's valuable and in demand. And with this 9-step marketing plan in place, you can build your brand and your business organically, because you'll be climbing that SEO ladder due to all the content you're creating. And best of all, you will generate the leads that you need with these strategies. Want to get some help in implementing this framework? Check out the captions below.